This question is for both of you. What were some of the processes that you went through either in rehearsal or on set for playing essentially the same character?
Many conversations.
In pre-production or on set? I mean, how did you kind of try to get his mannerisms down, or how did you accomplish that?
Well, it's complex because he's actually playing Voss, even though Voss is inside of him playing him.
It is kind of complex.
So it's you know, certainly when Voss is inside of him, she's adopting his mannerisms. Outside of that, when I'm using my own body, which is when the camera's on me, no, I'm not adopting his mannerisms.
Okay.
But further into, as it gets more, as we get further into the story, I think as with every possession, Voss does in some way begin to sort of assimilate in some way begins to lean toward him mentally, physically, you know, in every way.
Right. Well, I was wondering, like, so ever since there's been technology or even medical advances, like going back to Mary Shelley's Frankenstein book, there's always been someone who interprets the consequences in the darkest possible way, as Brandon has here. What struck each of you most when you read Brandon's script initially? This is for both of you.
Well, what I appreciated is kind of like the economy that's in the script, and the kind of room to play as an actor, even like between the lines. Like there's room in there to kind of, you know, throw in some of your own colors with a part that on the page can seem is almost seemingly stoic or introverted in a way, because, you know, there's this constant battle or duality of, like, you know, two people in one body. Mm-hmm. But in the same breath, it's kind of I don't know, even like in a good way, melodramatic and kind of or theatrical in some ways. So it's kind of, I liked how it was both of those.
Andrea?
I really loved Brandon's first film. That was probably the thing that drew me to working with him more than anything else. I just thought it was so quiet and unusual and dystopian and very beautiful. And so really that was the thing that really excited me about reading his script. And then when I got to the script, there's so much, when you're working with Brandon, there's so much that you can't see. There's so much that even can't, you know, that just couldn't be expressed through the script. And so the script in itself was brilliant and fascinating. And then on top of that, I knew, having seen his first film, that there was going to be this whole other world that we couldn't even sort of begin to imagine, because essentially the film's set in a version of the past.
Right, yes, and there are a lot of beautiful visual layers and the music and everything that you can't see in a script. But yes, I agree, Antiviral was a wonderful movie. Now, Andrea, and one more question for you here. You got to work with Jennifer Jason Leigh in some pretty powerful scenes. Could you share with us what that was like to work with her and to just be in those really powerful moments?
It was really incredible. I mean, she's just so extraordinarily talented and focused and generous. And it was a huge lesson.
What did you learn?
difficult to articulate, probably things that are very personal.
Okay. Chris, now, and you in turn get to work with Sean Bean in some pretty chilling and intense scenes. Could you tell us what that was like?
Fantastic. I mean, I'm a fan of Sean's, and became even a bigger fan having worked with him. He's got a presence as a human in the same way he does, I think, on screen as an actor. And so, it's always exciting to kind of be face to face with that.
Now, this question is for both of you. How about Chris, you answer first. What do you hope audiences will take away from the Possessor film experience?
Well, I think the idea of like a takeaway is associated with the idea of like having like some sort of message or morality, some sort of like moral that's imbued at like after the fact. I think Possessor has, it deals with a lot of themes that are poignant and very much can be interpreted as being of the time, whether you're talking about corporations or if it's a little more heady, like the duality of one's psyche and are you really who you are? Like, I think those are all, questions that you can kind of walk away with after seeing it. But ultimately, I do think it's a piece of entertainment and a smart one at that. So I wouldn't say anything other than just I hope it's just consumed and enjoyed and watched in all one sitting.
Andrea?
I have no want for anyone to take any one thing away, but I do think it's an opportunity to perhaps just step into the violence of our time momentarily and then step out again.
Right. I mean, I watch a lot of movies as an entertainment reporter. So many, they kind of blend together after a while. But I did see Possessor at least a month ago, and I still remember it vividly. So I think that's a great thing that Brandon has done. Could you each tell me like what it is about him as a director that you liked the most? Can we start with Andrea?
What a shame that they blend together, Staci. That's really
Sometimes they do.
Yeah, that's one of the saddest things I've ever heard. To talk about Brandon as a director.
Yes, please.
He's wonderful. I mean, he's a wonderful person. He's extraordinarily bright and funny and unapologetically geeky. And it's a constant conversation with him. You're engaged in every way, emotionally and intellectually, and any questions you have for him, he's normally thought about pretty much every angle of it, or he's willing to go with you and explore and find an answer. He's just very collaborative and very caring. Very, very kind and very caring.
And Chris?
I mean, yeah, all that I agree with. And yeah, just specificity, like he knows exactly what he wants the movie to look like and feel like and the tone. And that's reassuring, for me as an actor. And yeah, and on top of that, he's a humble and very funny and good person. So it's nice to be in his company when you're doing a movie. Making a movie is hard. So, it's a lot of it is about the time spent with the people that you're with. And so when you enjoy one's company and you get to work on something really good on top of that, I think that's the best combination.
It is, and congratulations to both of you on your wonderful performances in this film, and thank you for taking the time to speak with me today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Staci. Thanks for watching.
Okay, take care.